Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another classic movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, released in 1937. Directed by supervising director David Hand, sequence directors Pierce Pierce, William Cottrell, Larry Morey, Wilfred Jackson, and Ben Sharpsteen. From a script by Ted Sears, Richard Creedon, Otto Englander, Dick Rickard, Earl Hurd, Merrill Damaris, Dorothy Ann Blank, and Webb Smith. Based on Snow White, written by the Brothers Grimm. Starring Adriana Caselotti, Lucille Laverne, Roy Atwill, Pinto Colvis, Otis Harlan, Scotty Matraw, Billy Gilbert, Eddie Collins, Harry Stockwell, Maroney Olson, and Stuart Buchanan. Now, with the release of the dreaded Disney remake of Snow White, I figured it was prime time to review the original 1937 film, which can't be touched. I don't know why Disney decides to do these stupid remakes. There's only been a couple of them that I've actually enjoyed. Being Jungle Book, I thought that was well done. I thought Lady and the Tramp was okay. I thought Mulan was okay. But most of these other ones are just total train wrecks and travesties. They should have never been made. Kind of like The Lion King, which has no real live-action actors in it, basically. So what is the point of remaking it and making it basically another animated film, but with CGI animation instead of the cartoon? If I want to watch a cartoon, I'll watch The Lion King. I don't need to watch this. And they didn't change anything with the story, unlike, some of these others that I mentioned. But Snow White should have never been messed with. Least of all with this Rachel Zegler nut in there. But I digress. I'm talking about the original 37 film, and I am going to focus on that one from this point forward. Now, this film was a godsend to Disney, who had just been doing short little films with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and everything. Up to this point, he didn't have actual feature films, and most people were telling him that you can't make an animated feature film. And he proved them all wrong by having this made. Most people at the time were looking on this as this is going to be an epic failure, you're making a big mistake. And yet, Disney stuck to his guns and made this film. Also, this is not the first film to ever use rotoscoping. A lot of Max Fletcher animations used rotoscoping on them to make their characters look more lifelike and real. This was the first that did it in a major way, and it made it popular as a thing going forward. And it is so well done. It just makes the characters look so much more lifelike because they did that instead of just doing it just fully hand-drawn, much to the dismay of a lot of the animators on this film who didn't really want to have live-action filmed characters that they were tracing over, which was basically what Disney wanted with this. And I think he made the right choice overall with this because, like I said, it makes the characters look so lifelike and it makes their movements look so realistic and everything. It really was a trend-setting move for Disney to go with that. And the performances in this are untouchable. Adriana Caselotti as Snow White is absolutely perfect. You absolutely fall in love with her from the moment she comes on screen. Her voice, her singing voice, and I'm not much into musicals, but this, with all of the way that she sings, the way that she speaks, she makes you fall in love with her. And unlike this, I know I said I wasn't going to, but unlike this remake, they didn't need her to be a badass character, a strong woman. She was a strong woman in her own way as a character, with a sweet personality and a sweet, great outlook on life. They can be a strong character like that instead of just, oh, hey, I gotta be a strong female character that nobody can beat me, nobody can stop me. And so this character was great. And like I said, this is an untouchable masterpiece as far as that character goes. And then you have Lucille Laverne playing the Queen, and she is just so good at this character. Not only did she voice the character of the Queen, but whenever she turns into the old hag, in which she gives Snow White the apple, she is still voicing the character for those sequences. And that just shows what a great voice actress she was, because she's playing both of these distinct, very different versions of the character. And then, of course, you have the dwarfs, who were excellently voiced by Roy Atwell, Pinto Colvis, Otis Harlan, Scotty Matraw, Billy Gilbert, and Eddie Collins. And they are just so good in their portrayals. Every one of them gets time to actually do what their characters are meant to do. And by the end, they end up helping Snow White to vanquish the evil Queen. So, great characters in here, and they're highly likable, and you just fall in love with them just like you fall in love with Snow White. Now, the Prince, as voiced by Harry Stockwell, is very limited in his screen time in this. And unlike Rachel Ziegler, who tried to say that he's a stalker and he stalks Snow White, he does not stalk her. Grow up, woman. You don't know what you're talking about. He does a great job voicing him while he's on screen. But I think the final outcome was fine as far as his character goes in the film. But such a brilliant classic film that, to this day, is still the highest grossing animated film ever made when you consider inflation. This film cannot be touched, and it should have never been touched by Disney for this remake, which, don't worry, I'm not ever going to review it on this channel. I don't care about that film. Never did care about that film. Although I would have liked to have seen the Brett Cooper version of the film that the Daily Wire was advertising that they were going to make, that they never did do, and then they never even announced that it was canceled. But anyway, my final review for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I am going to give this film a 10 out of 10. This is the absolute perfect film. I don't think many other Disney films can hardly compare to this one. This one is in a league of its own, and there's, there might be a few whenever I get to reviewing some of these others that might give this one a run for its money, but they're few and far between. But what do you think of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members prior to it going up on the schedule for all other subscribers. So if you want to help me to get more movies on the channel that I might not normally review on the channel, become a Plus member.
Well, that's the end of another Comedy and Drama Night. If you missed last week's Comedy and Drama Night, check out the link above. Or if you missed any of the videos during Comedy and Drama Night, check out this playlist and get caught up on anything you've missed.